What's going on, beautiful subscribers? It's February 19th here in Uncle Clay's orchard, and we're going to be checking out 3 different plants on the back side of the pool wall. A Hana Fuyu Persimmons, Concord and K grapes, and the honeyberry. And most of this video is going to be us transplanting honeyberries to a new location. Alright, so it's hard to tell, but here we have a Hana Fuyu Persimmons, also known as a Giant Fuyu. And the reason it's called a Giant Fuyu is because the fruit, which is non-astringent, can grow 2 to 3 times bigger than the standard Fuyu. These Hana Fuyu Persimmons are about 6 years in the ground now, and they have gotten so big that they are shading out my honeyberries back here, as you can see. So between the wall with the grapes and the persimmons, the honeyberry is not getting enough sunlight. So in today's video, we're going to be transplanting the honeyberries. I'm going to show you a few different tricks and tips and moving them to the front of the house where we have more sunlight. Here you can see on the wall 3 grapevines, and there's a 4th over there. These 2 are K grapes. They're a medium to large size green grape, and it will have seeds on the inside, but it's delicious. And over there are 2 grapes that are Concord, and they are smaller and blue, also have seeds, and they taste incredible. The most intense grape flavor you have ever had. So this video is not about persimmons and not about grapes, but we'll have much more on those 2 fruits later this year. This video is on the honeyberry, which is in the honeysuckle family. The fruit kind of looks and tastes like a blueberry. It's more oblong and has a sweet tartness like a blueberry. These honeyberries, though, are not loving life over here because it's too much shade thanks to the persimmons. So today we're going to dig them up and we're going to move them over to the front. I've been meaning to do this all winter, and the best time to transplant anything is either in the late fall or early spring, so that the roots and plant can get acclimated to its new location before we get the heat of the summer. Alright, so the number 1 tip for transplanting any bush or shrub is to dig the hole where you're going to transplant it to first. That way, when you pick the honeyberry up and bring it over here, you can set it right down into the hole, and therefore you don't have to set it down and then pick it back up again and then set it back down in the hole again, because the more that the root ball gets disturbed, the worse chance you have of success. The honeyberries we're moving are an Indigo Gem and an Indigo Tribe, and you need 2 different honeyberries so they can cross-pollinate to create fruit. But they grow 3 to 4 feet wide each, so we are going to dig these holes 7 feet apart. That way we have enough space for them to grow. So they'll each get 3 to 4 feet wide, 5 to 6 feet tall, and hopefully loaded full of berries. Make sure that you pull back the mulch first before you start digging the hole. We don't really want the mulch to get mixed in with the dirt, so we're gonna come over here, pull back the mulch, then we're gonna dig our hole, and we're gonna dig it wider than we normally would because we are transplanting the honeyberry, and we don't know yet exactly how much roots we are going to get. Like I said, we're gonna pre-dig these holes for when we bring the honeyberry over here. We can set them right down in the holes that we already have, which gives us less handling of the plant. And always dig a little deeper. See what's down there? Just hit something. Let's get that out of there. Because we can always put dirt back in the hole, pack it down. Alright, so we're ready. We're ready to go get the 2 indigo honeyberries from the other side. Alright, so this one is the Indigo Gem, which makes this one the Indigo Tribe. And the goal here is to get as much of the root system as you can. These plants are luckily small enough that I'm not going to need to use any burlap. Sometimes we'll have to sneak burlap under there and some twine or yarn to tie up the root ball as we move it. Other times I've taken a plastic bucket and cut it and used it and wedge it around as we try and collect as much of the dirt and roots as we can. But for these ones, I think we're going to get away with just using 2 shovels. So I'm going to dig around, and then we're going to get 1 shovel under one side and 1 shovel under the other side, and we're going to try and pop it out. Alright, you see it's starting to fall apart a little bit. So, alright, so now that I got the 2 shovels around it, you can see here I'm ready to pick this whole thing up, and I do have a decent amount of dirt and roots here, but I can tell you my holes over there are not big enough, which is a good thing. Because the more dirt and more roots we can move, the better chance of success we have. So I'm gonna head back over to the other side. I'm gonna dig those holes a little bit deeper and a little bit wider, so when I carry this over there, I could set it right in. You can use a wheelbarrow instead of doing this by hand, but when you set this down in the wheelbarrow, lots of dirt is going to come off the root system, and all those little feeler roots in there are going to get disturbed, and I believe it's going to lower your chances of success. So the less you pick it up and put it back down, the better. Alright, look at that. Perfect height. There's a pretty good chance this one's gonna survive. Whoa. Look at that grub. Alright. We're gonna pack it in like we always do. Don't be afraid to use your boot. Pack it in. Look how much more sunlight's over here on this side. It's gonna do much better. All right, here's the second one going in the ground. Another one, pretty good height. It's a good thing we came back over and dug these deeper because we were able to get enough dirt. All right, then we're gonna pack it and we're gonna put the saucers around it and we're gonna mulch it. So it's really important after you transplant any tree or bush to water it right away. And this is why I like to put the saucers around them, because it funnels the water right down to the roots. If I didn't have this saucer, it would have completely run off onto the driveway, wasting half the water I just went to get. So I'm gonna see if I can zoom in here and get a close-up of these buds that are actually just starting to open. Here you can see the buds of the honeyberry waking up. And like I said, it's February 19th here in southeast Pennsylvania. And I think we got it transplanted just in time. All right, so we're all finished up. If you found that video helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll come back in a few weeks and we'll see if the honeyberries made it, and hopefully next year we'll have nice big honeyberries to taste test.